Ayo, I'm Tits,
Hey everyone, I'm Areolas.
and we're reviewing Repo, the genetic opera. Have you seen this movie
Have I?
before?
I have. I think because I looked at it came in 2008. This probably was around the time I was working at Walmart,
Mm.
and I would see all the DVDs in the DVD section. I had to have seen this somewhere. So yeah, I saw it once. I didn't like it the first time I watched it.
Oh,
But you?
okay. Well, that's fun. This movie is a really strange one. Let's just
Hmm.
jump right into it, cause how do you describe the title of this movie? By itself, the title of the movie, Repo, the genetic opera. What could that possibly mean? And then you watch the movie, and then it's like, oh, it makes a lot of sense actually. Uh
No, I
so sorry,
I
what were you
love the
saying?
no. I love the idea of it, but I love musicals, and I just could not. The music was just so weird to me, when I
Yeah,
first heard it.
I mean it's pretty discordant. A lot of the chords are really weird. I don't know why they chose to go with these musical progressions,
Hmm.
and it's definitely I feel like it's intentionally like that. It's intentionally not following the normal
Yeah.
standard musical
Hmm.
progression style with it. So it's supposed to sound weird, but I think the music is a little too unsettling. There's already so much dark tone in this movie that the music added to it. It's like it's too uncanny. It's too hard for me to sit through because of how weird it is. Make the tone weird, make the visual weird, but keep the music normal, or like
Yeah.
Batman did.
When's the
Yeah,
first time you watched this?
someone requested
Uh
me
huh.
to watch this as a Patreon request last year, and that was the first time I watched it. Like I
Okay.
didn't know
Yeah.
about it before then.
It's a very much a product of its time. It reminds me of all the music videos when they came out like this back then. Like almost like the music, even just the music, and then the music videos with all the 3D kind of grungy looking futuristic shit. And I don't know, it's okay, but looking back at it, I'm like, it's kind of, what is it, um cheesy. I don't know, you know
Yeah, it is weird. It,
cringy.
it is very 2008. It screams 2008.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so this movie, it establishes a world in which you can get organ transplants, and there's sort of like loan sharks for organ transplants. If you
Hmm.
don't pay a loan shark their organ transplant price, then they're going to take that organ out of your body, like rip it out of your body,
Hmm.
and that's terrifying.
They will, and that's where the name comes from, repo, because they will repossess it and take it away. And the idea of this, I remember hearing about it, back when. It sounds like a cool ass story idea. Now more so, it sounds more realistic because the world we live in nowadays, where it's all profit from the pharmaceutical companies, we're almost living like that, where we're on the dime of medications and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
scary. Yeah.
yeah. I feel like it's a world in which the extremes are pushed to the point where it's like, well, this is acceptable. It's acceptable to steal organs out of people. I mean, there has to be a point where everyone is so messed up in their head, or they allow this to happen. Like, oh yeah, we'll just let people steal our organs if we don't pay them, like cars or something, like repo,
Uh-huh.
and it's
it,
an
it
opera.
and then in this world, it seems like they're the only like company that exists, like the what is it, Gene Co, which provides like the organs. They seem to be the only company, because the only way to really like exist in this world from what I'm reading here, 99% of the population is going through this shit. So like that's your top priority is like getting an organ. That's it. There's nothing else really like to care about, you know?
Yeah, it seemed like at some point getting extra organs became a fashion statement
Mhm.
instead
Mhm.
of a medical necessity.
Mhm.
And at this point, I've already like disconnected from enjoying the idea, but like of the world and society, their society. I'm like, they're nuts. They're insane. Why would you do this? But I'm all for, yeah, okay, world has been established.
Mhm. Mhm.
What's going on with this within this world? So we got a person who is she's sick. She needs
Yes.
she's so sick. She can't leave her house. She's that sick. And I'm like, well, what exactly? What, bacteria? Or is it the Repo Men? Are they going to slash you? Who should you be fearing first?
Yeah, and she has some sort of like blood disease that apparently she inherited from her mother. Uh
Dang it! Not a good gift.
no, we all get the sins of our parents and the parents before them. They trickle down and
Yeah,
follow us always. But yeah, so she's got this blood disease where she, supposedly has to be in this sort of curtain and be coddled by her father, who's a doctor, so he knows better, I guess, right? How you gonna
yeah,
argue with that? And it's this really like I don't know, it's like uber Shakespearean tale because you have the daughter who misses her mother and the father who has the guilt that he might have killed the mother because she was in love with someone else who poisoned. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on with this story
yeah.
where everyone's
And
connected.
what's interesting as I watch this, like the scene go down, yeah, Shakespearean is a good way to
Yeah,
describe it.
on
Gothic,
steroids.
Gothic Shakespearean on steroids. Just keep
Hmm.
on singing, and the music is so weird. It's too weird for me. Like, I feel it has to be intentionally done like that,
there's
but I
there's
I don't think it's a
hints
good choice.
there's hints of like cool music, and it's all about like your own taste, right? Of course
Yeah,
someone could listen to this and be like, fuck yeah, this is the shit. But like there's specks of like badass music in there, but when you hear it along with them singing it, when they're
yeah.
just kind of like, oh no, I have this, you have that, like they're just kind of saying the script but singing it, it's weird. It's like they wrote the script but didn't consider it being a song, like a musical. It's very odd. It doesn't fit.
I wonder if it was ever. I wonder if it was like the first thing was, oh, we have to have it a musical, or like maybe the script was too dark that the only thing that could save it was the singing. Maybe like how weird it is.
Yeah,
Uh, there has to be something. There has to be something that this movie could have done differently that would have made it like more enjoyable. Maybe lean I don't maybe lean into different chord progressions. I'm so stuck on that because it makes or breaks the entire scene of the movie.
hmm
Like
it it's like
do like a G
someone
minor.
it's like someone who wrote a cool movie, a cool idea, but then for whatever reason, like, hey, let's make it a musical. But
Yeah.
you don't know the first thing about like it. That's why musicals aren't everywhere. It's hard to do, and they just thought like, oh, we could just put in weird like 2008 electronic music and then some hard rock punk here, and it's an opera. And it's like, I don't know, there's a lot more to that than just putting it all together and it working, because it doesn't
Yeah.
really mesh well in this thing.
I think that this movie also it's pretty it's this movie is focusing more on like Yeah, it's focusing on like a group of people, but I feel like it's focusing on the world more than a group of people.
Hmm.
Like it's like at least the very beginning, like it's showing that this guy has to do a bunch of like shady street deals in order to be able to keep his daughter safe.
Hmm.
He has to deal with a lot, and I feel like everybody in the street has to deal with that much a lotness because of how rampant this culture is. That you need organs. What is this, synthetic organs that we're giving people now, or like real organs?
No, these are real organs that they're harvesting and using over and over again. And yeah, they just
No
uh
concern for blood types, do we? Do we have any concern for blood types? Matching blood types of an organ. I don't know anything about it. I'm not no doctor or anything,
hmm.
but like I feel like you have to have a compatible blood type before you even take the organ.
Yeah, there's a lot more to
So
it. I don't think it considers that in this already complex of a story and world. Uh
yeah, it's
Considering the
too
fact,
complex.
yeah, it's really trying to be bigger than it's it's able to be, and it's like
Yeah,
they
it needs
tried
to
to fit
ground
too
itself more.
much. They tried to fit too much into this movie, and they just like it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Like there's not enough. We need more of this or less of this, or I don't know. It just it doesn't really help itself. You know?
Yeah, I feel like there could be like you like introduce a bad guy. You got some repo men. Okay, you introduce a character. Okay, she's sick. Okay, cool. And then you could be like, okay, well, let's go. We gotta find a cure for her or whatever. That could be like the story, but no, it just decides to shove in more information,
Yeah, more
like
characters.
more characters,
Hmm.
more roles, Zydrate. I'm like, at this point, I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, I guess, sure, they're doing drugs. Wow, this society has a form of drug. What does this have to do with the lady that we literally just introduced as sick? Like, does this guy have to get drugs from these dudes to help her? Like, it doesn't say specifically that this drug that he's searching for will cure her. It's just like a thing that happens. Oh, we're gonna spring more information on you.
Hmm.
More actually, check out Zydrate. And I'm like, I get it. I'm trying to find a cure for my sick daughter. Okay, and if it hopefully it's not as expensive as people are making it. You know?
No, you're absolutely right. Like the whole Zydrate thing. Yeah, you have the grave robbers or even like that quote unquote narrator like taking it from bodies, but it really doesn't factor into the main plot. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
one of the daughter or like the sister that's Paris Hilton, she's like addicted to it, but it doesn't even like negatively affect them. She just, you know what I mean? She uses it, but it doesn't really affect her. Like using that drug doesn't affect people or make them. They're just craving it, you know.
Yeah.
So it really has nothing to do with like the bigger story of course, the father having to become a repo man because the head owner of the company is framing him for his wife's death, so he has to kill, but he kind of likes it because he's good at it. And then the main dude's dying. He wants to find an heir to his company. He doesn't like his kids because they're all shady weirdos, so he
Yeah.
wants to get that original daughter of the lover. And I don't know, it's just weird. And then it comes up to this sort of climax where you have that woman who's blind, but she can see because of the corneas. What is she called? Blind Mag,
Yeah.
who is the godmother of the woman who was friends with the mother. And I don't know, a lot of it, like everyone's connected, but it doesn't make sense to be
I
connected.
mean, yeah, it's a lot of connection, but there's not an emotional weight to the connection either. Like,
No.
you can tell me, like, oh, well, this guy is from this lineage, he's like that. He's brother to this guy, and then that brother had like 3 kids or whatever. You can like give me the facts, like this movie does, but there's
Hmm.
not like an emotional connection. Like I don't feel like those two people are brother and sister or some like a relation or like uh son and father. Like I don't really feel that.
No.
As like I feel like their emotional depth to the relationship is just as deep as the father's emotional depth to the outsiders. The only difference is it's just like in context of the story, this guy is sick, so obviously the like he's taking care of the daughter. Of course, he's taking care of the daughter because she's
Hmm.
the daughter's sick. You gotta find a cure. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like it should be more emotional than what the movie presents. Like I want to feel the father's emotions. Like I want to know that he is feeling that he won't be able to protect his daughter. Like I want to feel his fear. But the movie doesn't really set it up like that. It mostly sets it up like, oh yeah, here's something that this guy has to do. And then here's all these guys that this guy encounters, and it's given the same weight. And I wish it was weighted differently.
No,
You
it
know?
doesn't. It's not like it's connected for just the sake of being connected, and then like even at the beginning when you have her supposedly out at her mother's grave, and you have that like grave robber narrator dude help her. I'm like, oh, is he connected? But he's
Yeah.
not. Like he's just there, and it's like, dude, like everyone's just as connected as he is. Like I thought he was gonna mean something more to this world, and he's just kind of a kind of person that's just there singing. Like like I don't know, they're all equally unimportant and equally important at the same time, you know?
Yeah. I wish there was less characters,
Yeah.
less important characters,
Yeah.
so I can like maybe a few people. Oh, it's this dad versus everyone else, and it just focuses really heavily on the dad's perspective instead of just trying to build a world.
Yeah.
I already got the world. I already got the world within like the first 5 minutes of you describing what the world's like. I don't need to know more world, okay? I already know that they harvest your organs out of you if you don't pay them enough money. If you don't pay your debts, they'll steal your organs back from you because this is an organ obsessed society. Who
Hmm.
knows how it got there? It just did. We already know that. We don't need to know anymore. Too many details.
No, it's really trying to be a lot, and then we get to sort of the climax of the movie where the godmother, and again it's like, why does this matter, but she's like singing I'm your godmother or something like that, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so all the exposition's being told to us in song, so we don't have to worry
Great.
about. Yeah, yeah,
Singing.
yeah. Like this world doesn't have to build itself because it just sings what's going on and what they're feeling. But we get to where the godmother, that blind mag, is gonna put on like the big opera, right? I guess the genetic opera or whatever they're gonna call it is the
Yeah.
whole point of the movie, the big show, and she's gonna quit. But apparently, she signed this rowdy contract where they gave her new eyes, and she's an employee with them for life. So she puts on her final show. She's saying she quit, and they kill her while she blinds herself. So there's a lot of gore in this movie too. I know you might have touched on it. I didn't even think about it. There's so much gore in this movie for just the sake of it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of blanked that out because I'm more interested in the weirdness of the plot itself,
Hmm.
and the world and how it's written and how it's laid out. But yeah, there's so much gore. There's so many moments where I'm like, this is really gross. This is obviously supposed to be edgy. This is supposed to be an edgy movie. Uh, I mean, I like movies that are edgy, right? But they don't have to be gross. Like,
Hmm.
you don't have to make a movie gross in order to make a good edgy movie. You just have to make it edgy and deep, to make it good. This movie did not achieve any of that.
No, a lot of it could have been right, like a lot, like even like the old Hitchcock movies when a murder's about to happen, it just cuts off screen. Like you don't
Yeah.
need to show it, but they show everything, and then they have the musical
Everything
on
but.
top of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that could be that it was made by the same like company that made Saw, so I could see why they were like, "Hey, let's do a Saw movie with musical. Let's do a Saw musical," you know?
Saw musical. Oh
Yeah, yeah.
god. Yeah. That's a good description of this movie.
Hmm.
Uh and
But
the end is everyone runs away. The end. Wow, great resolution to this movie. Boop boop. Instead of healing your sick child, instead, bye bye.
no,
No
here's
longer.
the revelation, and I'm gonna say I had to read it because I legit fell asleep at the end of the movie. Like I feel bad, but it just like didn't hit me hard. Apparently, the the father was faking the daughter's sickness. He was like all that like cure he was dropping in her water was actually making her sick, and he was doing that to protect her from the world because he didn't want her on the outside. So it was all like everyone was lying to each other about everything. You know what I mean? Like,
That gives a person serious trust issues. Why
yeah.
would you do this to your daughter? Just tell her the truth. Hey,
Well,
there's a bunch of bad guys out there.
mhm.
You're safe with me.
But see, like, is she safe with him? Because he doesn't feel that way because he thinks he murdered his wife, and then he's the repo man, so he's a bad dude. But I don't know.
The person who thinks that they are safe is not safe. The person who thinks they are not safe is more likely safe because they are cautious about their surrounding areas. So yes, I would actually say that he is probably the safe choice because he fears that he is not safe and is being more cautious as a result.
Well, also he's a killer. Like he could kill for her. I don't know. There's a lot of
Yeah,
weird. Yeah,
exactly. He
yeah.
he can do whatever.
But you're absolutely right. At the end, everyone just kind of dies or runs away. That like is important, except the children who are just like Paris Hilton and the two other guys, and they just kind of inherit the company, and that's it. That's legit like how it ends.
Huh. What a world. I got a little bit in, like probably a knuckle in before then I I'm out and I'm like, no, it's not satisfactory at all. What are you
Mhm.
doing? Oh my goodness. I
No.
was not immersed in the world and then it ended. And then I was like, why are they singing? Is this how they communicate with each other? Is this like how their language? They have to sing to each other?
It you know I remember seeing this, reading about it, like from the back of the DVD cover, and like having high hopes for it because I love musicals. I remember showing you Reefer Madness, and
Yeah.
like that's a musical that like it sounds fucking wacky as hell too,
Yeah.
and then you watch it, listen to it, and it works in my opinion. Again, it depends on your taste of music. But this one, there's hints, like small little hints of cool ideas or cool music, but it just never grabs me in like at all.
Yeah. It's 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 milk toast. For a thing so gothic and gory, it's also incredibly milk toast.
It's I don't know. It tries so hard to be really good, and it tried too hard. You know,
Yeah.
it tried too hard, and it fell on its face on all uh tries. That's my opinion.
What would you rate this?
Watching it again because I've watched it, hadn't seen it in a long time, and watching it and listening to it, I'd probably give it a little higher score than I did when I was younger, but maybe like a 3
Oh,
out of 10, maybe a 3.
it's whatever. It's a 5.
A 5.
It's a 5. It's a whatever, I guess.
What
It's
what did you
weird.
like about it? Can you name one thing you liked about it?
I feel like the discordant music fit with the weird tone of the movie. I like that seemed intentional. It's supposed to spook me. It's
I
supposed to
love
make me
your
feel uncomfortable.
backhanded compliment. I love how how the unorganized the music was. I think it fit. It's
I mean, I feel
unorganized.
like it was supposed to be discordant because, like, that's the tone of the movie is that we're supposed to be uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
the movie music is uncomfortable. Just
Hmm.
personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, I found it
Yeah.
weird. The execution's weird,
Hmm.
but the idea is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
There's something there. What I did like about it, of course, is like the I like the initial plot because they've done. I don't know if you've seen like another movie that's called Repo, where it's like just a flat out movie that's like the plot to this.
oh, I have not seen that movie.
It's actually decent, right? But it's not a
Oh,
musical. It's just the plot, the same thing, but the
okay.
plot. And also, I liked the parts where it was like a comic book. I think it didn't really use any traced assets or anything like that. It was more
I didn't notice any 3D assets.
yeah, I didn't notice any
No.
either. But I liked that. It looked cool when it was like a comic book and then it went into like real life whatever, the filming.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
liked
thought that was
that.
cool.
That was cool, but otherwise this movie's just it's a try hard. It's trying too hard to be something and it's not. It's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's Repo. We do have a game here. I want to call it organ prices, and we're gonna
What?
look at yeah, we're calling it organ prices. And I was looking up.
Like
I
the
kind of
state
felt
or the organs?
organs. Yeah, organs, not
Okay, I had to
Oregon.
clarify.
I call it. I'm gonna spell it right too. Now that I think about that, organ prices. I felt kind of weird looking up what are black market prices for organs on my computer, but I looked it up anyways, and you'll
All
be
right.
surprised. So we're gonna have fun here guessing those. First off, do you know what organ this is?
I know it's a heart. How much does a heart cost? I'm
Okay,
interested in
so
how much they cost.
that's what I'm gonna have you guess. What do you think the black market price is on a heart in
On a
America? These
heart?
are these are all
In
American prices
America.
in America,
Okay.
because they're way cheaper in China because there's a shit ton of people in China, so they can just they can take their organs like nothing.
Like a
But
good heart, not one that's clogged with like food.
no, this is like a healthy prime heart, like in
In
America.
America, I feel like that's $1,000.
On the black market, it's
Yeah.
okay. It's $119,000.
119,000. Oh, okay. I'm way too low. That makes
Yeah,
sense. It's an organ. You need it.
yeah. It's it's
Okay, just
literally
wanted to know where we're going.
yeah, yeah. But that's black market. How much do you think it is to legally obtain a heart in
A
America?
million dollars.
Actually, yeah, $1.4 million to get a heart legally in America.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah. So of course you would want to do the black market price.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy. I'm just gonna buy it from a guy who stole it from a hospital,
Or a grave or anywhere else.
preferably a hospital.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
their preferences. This what do you think this body part
that's
is?
a kidney.
How do you know that? I would not have guessed it.
I've studied the human anatomy system. I know human anatomy. I'm an artist.
I was
Okay.
saying I was like, wait, you're OnlyFans, so you like the ad. No, you're you know the anatomy, the female anatomy. No, that's the
Yeah.
same thing. No, I
That's
wouldn't have guessed it, but you're right. It's a kidney.
All right.
How much
How
do you
much does
think
it
a
go
kidney
for?
in the black market in America? A kidney.
You can live with only one kidney.
Hmm.
Um, $100,000.
They're actually $200,000.
Okay.
They actually cost more than a heart
I mean, yeah, they're
because
important. They're very important.
yeah, they are. Like if yes, most of us have two, but if you don't have even one, you're gonna want one. So
You gotta
they're like,
filter your toxins out of your body.
hmm
So,
and yeah, apparently these are like the longest wait lists in America is kidneys. along
Oof.
with hearts. But kidneys are
That's
like,
why dialysis is so popular.
oh yeah, that's where the money's at. That's where you make the money. Let's see. Do you know
They're
what
doing it
this body
intentionally.
part
That's a
is?
liver.
I'm amazed that you know these body. I'm
Is that a gal? Is that a gallbladder next to the
it
liver?
is that what that is? I thought it was a piece of cilantro or something. You're right though. It is a liver. I'm
You
not
can
really.
live with like 80% of your liver removed.
Yeah, and it might grow back too, right? From what I've read. Um,
I think
how
so.
much?
I don't
How
know.
much? How much do you think a black market liver costs in America?
$500,000.
It is actually, well, we're going lower in value here because the kidney's the most expensive. So the liver
Oh.
is $157,000. I like how specific that
Oh,
number
okay.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
$157,000 here in America. Again, like when you go to China or India, the prices drop significantly because no one
there's
cares
so
over
many
there.
people.
Yeah. What do you think
That's
this
an
part,
eyeball.
the part here
The
at the end?
cornea?
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
that's apparently the replaceable part, or at least the part that's sought after. How much do you think corneas go for on the black market?
$50,000?
It's very close. $30,000.
Okay.
Yeah, and they are sought after because you're blind without them. I guess like
Yeah.
that mag chick or whatever.
M-
Uh,
magnifying glasses.
what do you think that is?
That's a cell of some kind.
This is when I
That
looked
looks like a plant cell.
when I looked up the picture of this. This is what it gave me. This is supposedly a female egg.
What's an
You know,
egg?
like when you um combine a sperm with the egg. This is apparently the egg that
Oh.
females.
This is like, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
and
That's cool.
people like donate them for people to help fertilize and have
Oh,
children.
yeah. So it's like the outer shell, and then you mix the two DNA in the inner shell. You just have
Hmm.
the outer shell. Then you have
So
like
I'm gonna ask
all that
you.
fun stuff.
This is legally. How much do you think it costs to obtain an egg? And I'm gonna give you what's the price range from what to what in America legally.
In America, 100,000 to 700,000.
Okay, it is 5,000 to 50,000.
Oh.
But here's the thing: it all depends
Oh
on,
yeah, they want you to reproduce
yeah,
so you can more people to work. Yeah, that makes sense.
but it all depends on race, color, height. Because you want an egg from a woman that's like white and smart, and you know what I mean. Like all that
Yeah.
plays into the price. So you could get like a midget, short, ugly person for 5 grand probably, and then 50 grand you're getting like a tall athlete who's Harvard educated female,
Can I sell my eggs?
I'm
That
pretty
sounds
sure
like a
you
great
can.
money making scheme.
I'm
I
pretty
don't want
sure.
them. They're going to dry up if I don't use them, so give them to someone else.
I feel like that's a myth, but you never know. I imagine everything just dries up
Oh
on the
no, they just
body.
leave. That's the they just leave. And then once you're done, you're done. No more eggs. That's how it actually works.
Hey, if you can make 5 grand even at the lowest, like I'm sure you're worth more though, because you're pale skinned and that's wanted. Autism's in right now, so that would be wanted
Yeah,
too. I think
autism's in.
it's very
It's in.
trendy. It's
It'll
very
make you
trendy.
cool. All
It'll
right, hey, do you want an autistic child? Here you go. Here's my eggs.
You're ahead
What?
in life now with autism. Like they're trying to hire DEI people and all that. So you're ahead of the game, ahead of the curve.
Cool.
If you were a lesbian, it'd be even better. What's the next here I have on here? Do you know what this is?
The fuck? That's a
I'm like,
lung.
I'm not even sure what this is. I'm like, what
What
did
the
I
fuck
Google
is
here?
that? Like, well, what's kind of shaped like that? A lung? No.
I think it's
No.
I think it's a spleen because I didn't
A
look up.
spleen?
Yeah,
What the
because
fuck's a spleen for?
I think you can live without it. It goes with the gallbladder. Uh,
Oh.
you can live without it, which is why it only goes for like $500 on the black market. A spleen.
Oh. Hey, I need
Yeah.
my spleen replaced. Let me sell my spleen. What are you gonna sell? Who's buying a spleen?
Don't
What to like
know.
look at? Hey, we
Yeah.
got a spleen over here, $500.
Yeah, these are like movie props. Like if you want a cool jar of a body part, just get a spleen because they're budget
Okay,
body parts. Yeah. What else do I have here? Oh, do you know what this is?
that's the skin.
Do you
The
know how
biggest
much
organ.
is it?
90% of your body is skin,
It kind of
I
grosses
think.
me out. Even though that's probably true. I don't know why that grosses me out. Do you know how much they charge per square inch of skin on the black market? And it's a small number. You don't
Square
need to go.
inch?
Yeah, per square inch.
$10?
Absolutely right. $10 per square inch of skin on the black market.
Seems about right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think those were all the body. Yeah, that's all the body parts I had. Another just quick note here: stomachs go for $500 because I guess that's another organ that people don't really care about.
Hmm.
Do you know how much blood goes for per pint?
Like $75?
It says here on the black market $330 per
Oh.
pint. But I think that depends on what blood type you are as well.
Hmm. All right. What
And
else? Like
skull,
bones?
yeah, skulls with teeth. How much do you think they go for?
Um.
And remember, that's not really needed. Who needs a skull with teeth? That's
Yeah. Who
more.
needs a skull with
Yeah.
teeth? What?
I, when
Like
I
my
looked it up,
brain. I'm not going to transplant my brain. Like what?
when I looked it up, it was like, oh, these are typically for ornaments. So it's just, like people just want a skull, um, or teeth for like rituals. It's not
What
really
was it,
like
like $100?
it says here 1,200, but I think it just depends on the type of skull. Like I don't know. I know
Foam skull is $5.
there was a time when I looked up how much like Jewish teeth were on eBay. I don't
As
remember what.
opposed to other teeth?
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember why I
Okay.
looked up Jewish teeth. I honestly do not remember like my headspace. And
Okay.
they had
Okay.
a store on there that sold Jewish baby teeth for pretty cheap. But now that's illegal.
Hmm.
You can't
Well, you don't pull them out; they just fall out, and then you can sell them.
I know, but it's
It's
still
not like
illegal.
adult teeth where you
It's
gotta
still
pull them out.
it's still illegal though cuz I guess they can still be like, oh shit, there's a commodity for this. Let me go find every Jewish baby I can and start yanking all their teeth out or something. It's not.
All right, you don't want to cause a lot of pain to children. I
No,
get it.
no, but nothing that won't cause pain is your links.
Thanks.
Where
Okay,
can
I
they
do
find you?
daily movie reviews on youtube.com/ASU Presents every day at 7 p.m. ET. I do movie review requests on patreon.com/ASU Presents. And if you want to help support the daily grindiness, you can go to my link tree, linktr.ee/titsman salad, and Monday through Friday, comic book reviews on 4canonsake.live. That's where I'm at.
Hell yeah! And I do a daily podcast called That's All Funny. You can find anywhere podcasts are available. Just search That's All Funny. Do another podcast every Monday called That's All Kayfabe, where me and my buddy Gabe talk about wrestling. You get check out archived episodes of Tits and Areolas on either our Patreons, and check out the YouTube channel where you're watching right now, youtube.com/, at Lorenzo Arreola for everything that we do here. But I want to thank the Great Mint Salad for being here. I want to thank all of y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. Take care.